All of my jobs had two things in common. I took over from a man, and these men left me with a mess to clean up. When I walked into the office of my first management position, my predecessor had left me 101 problems to resolve. Their folders covered my office, leaving no place for me to sit or even put down my stuff. And if all that wasn't bad enough, the problems just kept on coming. Now I could have been overwhelmed, but I realized the key to fixing my situation was shutting down those problem generators. So I gathered my staff, and over the next year, we not only cleared out the old problems, we also revised many of our operating procedures, which then shut down the problem generators. And our workplace became a much happier place. For 30 years, whether I was working in the office or out on the construction site, I faced the same situation. Problem generators cranked out problems that overwhelmed my male colleagues. And each time, I did the same thing. I worked with my colleagues to change our operating procedures so we shut down those problem generators. Now this begs the question, why didn't my male colleagues work to turn off the problem generators? Well, the answer, as crazy as it sounds, is because the male-dominated workplace needs problems. Because if you don't have problems, then you can't have heroes. And if you want to have status in the male-dominated workplace, then you need to be a hero. There's an old saying that when you have lots of problems, then you're up to your waists in alligators. So when our workplace experiences this, it needs the ultimate man. The man who can single-handedly slay the alligators and make the problems disappear. I call him the Great American Alligator Slayer. And this is who our male colleagues aspire to be. In order to distinguish themselves, our male colleagues need problems or alligators to slay. But not small alligators. They need crisis-sized alligators. Alligators who are bigger than any ever encountered before. This is how they will make a name for themselves. And this is why the male-dominated workplace hasn't been motivated to turn off the problem generators. But there's just one problem. Since the mid-20th century, alligator slaying hasn't been effective, and all of our workplaces know it. So to cover up their shortcomings, they invented the law of unintended consequences, so we think these new problems are unavoidable. But in reality, our workplaces were just too vested in alligator slaying that they didn't develop the skills necessary to shut down the problem generators. And this is why for 30 years I always walked into a mess. Now as women, it's important for us to understand how alligator slaying is used to discourage us in both our workplace and society. Crises and catastrophes create the heroes that we put up on a pedestal, and we're conditioned to think that we can't compete with these superior examples of manhood. We're also taught alligator slaying is a messy business better suited for men. Consequently, women are eliminated from the promotion pool. And because we don't tread into these alligator-infested jobs, we never see the other golden opportunity available to us. This is why we need to ignore all of the alligator slaying bravado and take on the messy jobs where we get to work together as a team and fix something that's broken. But more importantly, we must recognize that the results of shutting down the problem generators far exceeds even the best alligator slaying. And it gives us the opportunity to outshine even the greatest alligator slayers in our workplace. This is Dot Callahan asking you to help me turn the woman in the room into the women in the room. Sign up for my newsletter, subscribe to my YouTube channel, or find the Woman in the Room on Facebook. It's up to you. Just keep watching and sharing my videos. To get advice from a woman who's been there, dealt with that, and knows what works.